Welcome along everyone. So I'm going to give you a quick walk around. So the GS, I'm not going to give you all the stats that you can find anywhere online about the GS 1150 range. There's been so much information out there that it can be a bit overwhelming. What I wanted to talk about instead was that how I found this bike, how it makes me feel, and how it might influence how you choose your bike. So I bought this off Marketplace and I bought it blind. I did all the things that you should not do when you bought a second-hand bike. I had my mind set on a change and saw this one online, made an offer, agreed all the details, and then agreed the sale. I transferred the funds. I didn't even go to look at it, didn't meet the person, and sent a courier to collect, and everything worked flawlessly. To be quite honest, the listing online wasn't particularly good. I could barely see the colour. I thought it was actually a blue bike, and it turns out it's black. When it rolled out of the courier's van, I was like, oh wow, it's black. And it's like, yeah, is that okay? And it's like, mate, it looks awesome. I'm really pleased. So delighted with the condition. It looks like to me it spent most of its time in a garage. It's a little bit dirtier than it was when it arrived with me. I've cleaned off some of it. I did get caught in some rain, and I am really trying to use this as much as possible. I'll speak about that in a moment. But the key thing for me with this is how it makes me feel. I haven't had a bike yet that I've purchased that effective feeling that when you open the garage doors, or you take off the bike cover, or you walk out the door in the morning, you want to get on it. The V-Strom was a brilliant bike. I'd recommend it to anybody. It might be right for you, and it did the job fine for me, but it just didn't have that little bit extra. Now, because cost is no longer really much of a question with these bikes, this cost me £2,000, and when I sold the V-Strom, I didn't have to spend too much more money to get it. The looks for me are fantastic. It might be controversial, but I like this as much as I like a 916, because there's details everywhere. Just the fins on the head, the injectors, the shaft drive and final drive, the spoked wheels. I know these aren't Brembo styling calipers, I get that, but it doesn't bother me. I love the way they look. There's a kind of a nice retro look to these things. I really like it. This big plastic beak, the asymmetric face that spills over into the screen. I really like it. It ticks those boxes. It feels purposeful. It's not flawless. That's not the point. I don't think necessarily a bike has to be flawless. I don't think it has to be perfection. There is a robustness to this. There is like a strength, a kind of integrity. You know, everybody's flexing about the magnesium here, but it's like it's quite heavy. So I'm not sure what difference that makes, but there we go. But it just makes me feel good. It feels solid. And it's a real occasion when you ride it. And I would really advise you, obviously don't follow my lead in terms of how to purchase a bike, but certainly, if you haven't found the one for you yet, if the bike that you're riding isn't satisfying you, get into a new relationship, okay? Sell and move on, because we're losing. Bikes aren't as popular, certainly here in the UK, as they once were. And I think it's time, if you're on a bike that you're bored with, move on. Find something that you can love, that you, when you want to swing a leg over it and go for a ride, you want to do it and ride it as much as you possibly can. Because these things are going the way of the dodo, in my opinion. Maybe I'll like the electric equivalents that come out. Maybe it won't really affect me by the time they do come out. Who knows? And frankly, who cares? That's a future problem. But I just love this thing. I love how it looks. I think it's a real shame on the 1300s that BMW have gone away from that kind of asymmetric look. But it really does it for me. I'd love to take the top box off for you to give a different view, but the bike's pretty new to me. I don't want to be stuck out here struggling to get the top box back on it. But yeah, if you don't love your bike, if it's not tickling your fancy just yet, move it on. But yeah, unfortunately no real history with the bike. Again, it's a bit of a gamble, but the condition tells me that I think over that 25-year age period, it's probably been lost. It's taken a tumble on its side, scratch, dent in the tank, scratch on the screen, so probably just a drop on the side at some point, bit of clumsiness, but it is 25 years old. And I think for a bike that's so utility focused, that really doesn't bother me too much. You know, it's not supposed to be totally pristine in my opinion. But yeah, definitely get out there, try one. Look at that. I think that's beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. From its look to how it feels, every single thing. But yeah, just buy sensibly, but try something new if you don't like what you've got, because I love this GS. Maybe I'll do a little stats video at some point for those who are interested, but yeah, this is not something you can define in terms of spreadsheets. This is something about finding the thing that makes you feel right, finding the type of clothes that make you feel comfortable, the cuisine that makes you feel good, tastes good, a delicious beverage, whatever it might be. This is mine, and I love it.